Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back. My name is Kimiko Sumi, and today I want to do a video about Siddhartha Gautama or Shakyamuni Buddha, the one who discovered Buddhism, which is the first religion of this world actually. Instead of Christianity, Christianity is not the oldest religion. Buddhism is, and it was created out of India, and it was started by a Buddhist named Shakyamuni Buddha or Siddhartha Gautama. Basically, Siddhartha started off as a prince. Well, when he was first born, I think a sage or something like that came and told his parents what he would be when he would grow up. And they said that either he would be a prince, I believe, or he would become somebody that wanted to seek wisdom or enlightenment or something like that. Like he would go on a spiritual path, or he would stay in the palace and become a king. Okay, so basically, Shakyamuni Buddha, he was said to have been walking already when he was born. Okay, now this is well documented. But anyway, so Siddhartha, as he grew up and he was growing older, of course he got everything that he wanted. He lived in a palace. I think he even got to a point where he was married and his child's mother was pregnant, and I think she stayed pregnant for years actually, as an effort so that Shakyamuni Buddha wouldn't leave, because I think he was trying to leave the palace. Actually, this is what happened. This is what I heard. Okay, Shakyamuni Buddha was very intrigued about what was outside of the palace, because they would shield him. They wouldn't let him see real life experiences. He only saw good things and people who were healthy and rich and beautiful and whatnot. So one day they took Shakyamuni out. They promised him, because he just kept asking to be taken outside of the palace. So one day they did take him out of the palace, and they made sure that everybody in his sight were, well and healthy and looked the way that the people did in the palace. But somehow Shakyamuni, he saw, I think, an elderly man who was suffering, and it really put an imprint in his mind that, wow, I've never seen this before. I didn't know that people were experiencing this. And so he became to understand that birth, sickness, old age, and death were a real thing. And so he decided to take the other path that the man predicted when he was born, and to becoming somebody that wanted to seek enlightenment and the cure of suffering. So Shakyamuni Buddha, he took that path. He abandoned his wife, I believe. Not really abandoned her, but he left the palace and she was pregnant or something like that. She was trying to stay. I think that she just kept staying pregnant for years or something like that. I'm not completely clear on it, but I know the basics of this story. So when he decided to leave the palace, he started to try to find ways to reach enlightenment by starving himself. He sat underneath a Bodhi tree, and he got very emaciatedly thin, I believe. And so one day this woman walked up to him and she convinced him to eat. And so he became, well again and healthy again. And he started to, try to find ways to help people become enlightened. Hold on real quick, y'all. Okay, I'm back. So Shakyamuni Buddha, he was discovering the Lotus Sutra, and he was saying something like that he wasn't gonna reveal the whole Lotus Sutra, I believe. And remember, y'all, I'm still learning too. So let me just clarify that. And I really want other people to come in and help me with this story too, honestly, to help me understand. But I've been listening to hearing about this story and reading about it ever since I've been about 29 years old. I actually started reading about it at the gym, listening to videos about it at the gym when I used to work out at the YMCA. But anyway, back to the story, what I believe that what happened. So Shakyamuni Buddha, he was looking for ways to reach enlightenment and to help other people attain enlightenment too. So throughout his journey of trying to attain enlightenment and guide others towards enlightenment, he was met by a lot of adversaries. He did have a cousin named Devadatta that was very jealous of him. And even Devadatta at one point dropped a boulder on Shakyamuni Buddha's foot, to harm him because he was so jealous of his cousin Shakyamuni Buddha. And he was also jealous because Shakyamuni, a woman had a huge crush on Shakyamuni, but Devadatta wanted that lady, but that lady didn't want him. That lady did not want Devadatta, Shakyamuni Buddha's cousin. But she wanted Shakyamuni Buddha. So Devadatta had a lot of competition with Shakyamuni, and also Shakyamuni was born with like this thing on the back of his foot, and Devadatta was jealous of it, so he tried to make one on the back of his foot too. And of course that didn't work out. That's kind of like that's like basic jealousy. Even in this day and age, people copy people. They copy what they want. They hate the person that they want to be. They're jealous of that person, but they want to copy that person, basically. So anyway, he did that, and things like, and I've also heard stories of some entity like Mara, or the devilish functions trying to obstruct Shakyamuni's, journey to enlightenment and to also help other people. And another thing too, when Shakyamuni would, I read and also heard that when Shakyamuni would go into the town or something like that, try to walk through the town, they would gate off all the pathways so that Shakyamuni couldn't enter. It was a lot of jealousy surrounding him, and he was very handsome, by the way. That's what I heard, that he was very handsome. He was from India, so he was a handsome prince. I don't think he ever made it to becoming a king, actually, but he's a profound aspect in Nichiren Buddhism, and that's why y'all see all these Buddha statues, and we're seeing that more and more. I got a couple of them too now, and I have been very interested in that story for years, since I've been about 29, when I first started to really pay attention to it. Even though my mama would talk about it throughout my life, I just would never really pay attention to it. And what's funny is that one of my housemates or roommates, she brought it up one time, and I would hear people bring up Shakyamuni Buddha and Siddhartha and the Buddha, the enlightened one, but I would never really pay attention to it, even though I am a practitioner of Nichiren Buddhism and he is the basis of our religion. But basically, after Shakyamuni Buddha, of course, Nichiren Daishonin came along, and he invented, he did invent, but he created Nichiren True Buddhism, which is what we practice today, which consists of the words Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And we also chant a longer prayer called Ganyo. And basically from the Lotus Sutra, that is the 2nd and 16th chapter of the Lotus Sutra. I believe the second chapter is the Expedient Means chapter, and the 16th chapter is the Thus Come One, I believe. But yeah, so I've been studying. I just kind of wanted to a little bit show my studying skills and what I've learned over the years and what I'm still learning, because I actually read something that has to do with my practice every day. And I am very really strict with my practice itself, with chanting and doing Ganyo and Daimoku. There are days when I miss it. There are days when I don't have the energy to do, or sit there and chant, but I do chant throughout the day anyway. And every time I go outside, I actually do Ganyo, and it seems to be helping me, even though my mom told me that I shouldn't do Ganyo, in my head and, throughout the day. I do say Ganyo to myself and in my head when I go out, and I've noticed that actually helps me along with Daimoku. But I've always wondered why I've always loved Ganyo so much. Like, I don't know, I guess it's the words that we chant, but I've always had like a deep connection with Ganyo. It's always been fun to me. It's always been like joyful. Like, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo is absolute, but Ganyo, I don't know what it is about Ganyo, but it always makes me happy. But anyway, so I just want to share that with y'all, regardless of what your religion is. My religion is Nichiren Buddhism, once again, and regardless of who you are, I hope you like this video. And once again, I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share my video, hit the notification bell if you like, comment, share this video, hit the notification bell if you like, and I will see y'all in another video, my lotus flowers. And I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will too. And I will see y'all in another one. Peace. Bye-bye.